Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Wonderland. Today we're going to be jumping into the Clawbringer, their skills, their kit, getting absolutely hyped for it. I can't wait. No, not Clawbringer, sorry. Brr-Zerker, and there's kit, skills, and everything in between. Get some coffee, get some tea, whatever it be. I tried to save it the last minute there, didn't really do it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about these characters, so sit back, relax, and let's just chit-chat about what they can do. So the Berserker seems to me to be the kind of like the melee burst damage class slash stacking class as well. But anyways, specializes in melee and frost damage. Yes, by definition, that's what it does. Also seems to do a lot of action skill damage stuff as well. But that may also be, I think the ones that sequence the most with everybody else is the Graveborn and the Spell Shot and the what do you call it? The Berserker. Those, not Berserker, Clawbringer. Clawbringer, I think, and Grave Warden seem like they sequence the most, just kind of being passively useful for a lot. Like, you could just make your Wyvern with the Clawbringer really good and actually just have, like, bonus elemental effects happening whenever you do everything else. And, yeah, they just seem like the kind of, like, the additive kind of class. Anyways, so this one might be a specialization class. Let's see. So the Berserker's feat, I believe, is a stacking thing. Let's see. Rage of the Ancients. Using an action skill causes the Fate Maker to become enraged, adding bonus frost damage to their attacks. Oh, wow. Okay, so attacks meaning guns and melee, maybe? Could be everything. Enrage duration will not deplete while an action skill is active. And ends if the Fate Maker enters Save Your Soul, Fight for Your Life. Activating an action skill when already enraged restores a portion of the enraged time. Okay, so there is a timer, I was about to say. So I was wondering if you played like the mage class for whatever reason, and you had a quick cast ability. Yeah, like one quick, like five. I guess you could have a long casting, like AoE damage over time effects spell, I guess. But anyways, we're getting confused for no reason. But regardless, that's okay. So I'm curious about, like, so all of your attacks just have frost damage now, and it lasts the duration of your action skill at the very least. And if you end, it only ends in Fight for Your Life, but it also has a timer. I guess it's kind of a mixture of both to balance it out. But okay, on to the action skills. Death Dread Wind. Dread Wind. The Fate Maker spins, slashing anything nearby with their melee weapon, and essentially becomes a pain tornado, granting increased movement speed and slow immunity for a short time, or for a short duration. So I think what this means is basically become a tornado where movement speed is almost a necessity in order for you to stay on top of enemies and to kind of get to them faster before the cooldown ends. But you're also applying a slow effect onto them, which is dope, but it also is interesting that it scales off of your melee weapon, I guess. So if your melee weapon does any sort of, like, every time you hit a melee, gives you an effect, this could probably detonate a lot, which is good. But I'm curious because the Stabomancer has something in its kit which basically it scales off of your melee weapon, and your melee weapons can scale off of attack, attack speed, and their buffs and such. So I think attack speed might contribute to how fast you're spinning, maybe. Hopefully. That'd be fun. Anyways, Feral Surge. The Fate Maker leaps towards their target, dealing frost damage to all nearby enemies. Any non-boss enemy damaged will be instantly killed. If their total health is below a certain percentage, if Feral Surge kills an enemy, its cooldown is reset. Okay, it's limited. They've limited it a little bit. I was wondering what would happen. So basically, so you can instantly kill trash mobs. So it deals frost damage to nearby enemies. Any non-boss enemy damaged will be instantly killed if their total HP is below a certain percentage. Okay, so what does that mean? So that mean if you land a hit and you instantly kill what you hit, it re-gives the vital, lets you activate the skill again? So if you one-shot shit, you're going to be able to continue to one-shot stuff? Okay, and it counts, it doesn't really say it counts as melee damage. It just says it counts as frost damage. Huh. That's interesting. It also seems messy. Like a little complicated. Anyways, Tier 1. Ancestral Frost. Frost damage increase, Savagery. Melee damage is increased. Enraged duration is also increased. So this is where it gives a lot of benefit, I think, to the Stabomancer. Yeah, it seems like that's just nice. The extra melee damage. Also Enrage, what I also think contribute to to like the goodness of yeah, because you just do bonus frost damage, so this would just let your melee thing do more damage as the Stabomancer. Unyielding. A percentage of missing health regenerates over time. While enraged, this effect is doubled, so you become a really hard Berserker at that point to kill. Icebreaker. The Fate Maker gains increased damage dealt to enemies that are slowed. The closer an enemy is to being frozen, the more damage it increases. Okay. Alright. The Old Ways. The Fate Maker deals bonus damage and gains increased damage reduction the closer they are to the enemy. The closer the enemy, the bonus damage. This reminds me of a skill, I think. Oh, who was it? I don't remember who had it in Borderlands 3, but yeah, a reminiscent skill of an old time. Instinct. 3 out of 3 points, so not too many points can be spent. Reload speed is increased, weapon swap speed is increased, and enraged, while enraged, your timer is doubled. So when you're enraged, which I like that actually, the passive bonus of just using your action skill to get enraged, so you basically want an action skill that lasts a long time. Huh. I feel like the Clawbringer, you can just chuck your hammer and it's going to be active the whole time, so then you're just going to be gaining all this enraged buff. Question is, how do you get your action skill to recover faster, so that you can get to enraged faster? Anyways, weapons, so basically like double stacking advantage if you happen to be enraged, which is nice. Cold Snap, also we're at tier 3, 3 points, can't invest too much. Movement speed is increased, frost efficiency is increased. While enraged, this effect is doubled. Okay, so this class seems like it sequences really well with the Stabomancer, because the Stabomancer has a movement damage buff as well, and the fact that you're getting double whatever movement buff that is. Not only that, but you're getting frost efficiency, whatever that is. I imagine that's the amount of time frost can be applied to an enemy, or maybe even the damage that can be dealt. I would assume it's just the duration of it being applied. Unarmored defense. What weird. Okay, 1 point. A portion of the Fate Maker's ward is reserved and cannot be restored, but the maximum health is increased by the percentage of the reserved amount. Health can no longer be reserved. Okay. So you basically just shove your shield into your HP, or you take a percentage of your shield and put it into your HP. But it says health can no longer be reserved. What does that mean? A little confusing, but okay. So it seems like the opposite of what Moe's was. So instead of it being buffing your shield, it's buffing your health. Okay. Ooh, kill skill. Blood Frenzy. Kill skill. Restores a percentage of your enrage timer and makes a percentage of your max HP go up. Okay, so this is a way for you to have perma enrage. Yeah, because you just need to activate your action skill, and then you just need to keep resetting it with your kill skill. So this will, yeah. So I guess you just need to use your action skill and then keep using your spells to keep enrage basically fully up. So that's where the what do you call it, the Grave Warden can kind of play with this class too, although there's not a lot of kill skills actually. I was assuming a lot, but there's not a lot of kill skills in this. Ancient Fury. Max health is increased, splash damage. Okay, Moe's, I miss you. But splash damage is increased. Okay. Relentless Rage, 1 point. If the Fate Maker damage enters Save Your Soul, its duration is extended. The amount of extended decreases over time. Killing an enemy while in Save Your Soul will cause the Fate Maker to become enraged. Okay, so there's a bunch of ways to become enraged. I don't know if that's a good thing. I feel like entering like Fight for Your Life is what Save Your Soul is, by the way. Entering Fight for Your Life usually makes you like see an animation of your character falling and then quickly having to hit someone just to get enraged. Feels like a bad bet, but it's nice just to have 1 point to give you a ton more duration on that, so you don't get down that easy. But it's kind of annoying that it seems like they're preparing you to get downed a little bit. Blast Chill, 1 point. Whenever the Fate Maker deals melee damage to an enemy, there is a chance to release a Frost Nova, dealing frost damage. To nearby enemies, Frost Nova cannot crit. Okay, they didn't specify a cooldown, so that's fun. Blast Chill. Okay, so if you guys don't know this, the Stabomancer's spectral blade that he summons, it spirals around, that scales off of melee damage. That's considered melee damage. So not only is it gaining the benefits of your melee damage, but it can be ranged, so you can like tell this thing to go for enemies in the sky, which is useful. If you're playing melee, you can have an access to them. But now you're getting the access to summon a Frost Nova. Okay, okay. It can't crit, but that's still good. That's applying a mass AoE of frost. And that thing's hitting, if you have a fast attack speed blade, it's just going to be detonating constantly. That's really fun. Anyways, also it's 1 point. Iron Squall, fire rate is increased, melee attack speed is increased, while enraged it is double. Oh my god, melee attack speed. Man, this is sequencing perfectly with the Stabbomancer because again, your melee speed is capping your speed of your spectral blade. But the one thing I haven't seen is any way for you to recover your action ability back faster, so your action skill back faster. You could just get a lot of passive upgrades to that, but still. Anyways, tier 6. This is the capstone, boys. Blood of the Fallen. Kill skill. Oh shit. The Fate Maker's remaining action skill cooldown is reduced by a percentage. If an action skill is currently active, its duration is extended. Ooh. Ooh. That's real good. Son of bitch. This sequences really well to Graveborn. Just like that. Good job, Gearbox. We haven't got to test anything yet, so maybe I'm praising too soon, but this seems like much better class synergy. Because, like, again, this now, beforehand, it was like, this kind of goes with the Stabbomancer, sure. But even still, you're able to get your, the Stabbomancer and the Brr-Zerker now sequence beautifully together, because all you need to do is get a kill, and if you're investing in the right stats and you have a lot of damage, all you need to do is get a kill, kill skill, you just get a kill, and your action skill is getting reduced. Or, if you happen to get a kill with your Spectral Blade spinning, now you just need to keep going because it's going to extend its duration. And it doesn't specify that there's a limitation on this, so you could literally just keep summoning your sword all around you, and as long as you're able to get a kill, which you should be, because the, the Stabbomancer does seem to have pretty good scaling all around. But it's funny because I think this is maybe better of a capstone than the Stabbomancer, which we'll get to at a certain point. But sorry, also, what I was originally saying was with the Graveborn, this also works with him. The fact that you can, stay in your, bloodlust thing. I mean, I still think you'll forcibly eventually have to end your action skill, so maybe a little bit less synergy there. But just the fact that you can keep, as long as you're activating your action skill, or as long as you're casting spells, you're detonating the cooldown reduction immensely, and it says based on a percentage. So I imagine when you have 10, it's only going to shave off 20 of 10, so it's going to get lesser and lesser as you get to the very end of it. But you already have other abilities that increase your cooldown rate, so it should sequence in and basically you getting your action skill back instantly just by using the Graveborn, but you can't yet. Okay, sorry, I got caught in the weeds. It doesn't work with the Graveborn yet, because the Graveborn, you need to get to his capstone and, of course, to the Brr-Zerker's capstone, which is probably not going to happen until 5 months after launch, probably, something like that. But yes, regardless, interesting. And also, you just need to get a kill. I'm kind of living in the mindset of going Graveward, because he just looks so fun. But yeah. The character looks interesting. He does seem weirdly additive to a certain degree, but also, maybe not. I don't know. The action skills are the ones that leave me kind of not so interested. I thought there would be something in here that helps decrease, allows you to cast. There could still be hope for you just to go Krieg. Not really Krieg, but just button smash or button crash, essentially, with melee, this stomp, this feral surge or whatever, because there could be an action skill or an action class mod that it gives you a chance to reset it regardless or something. But yeah, it does seem like it's meant to not be spammed, which to me, again, that's the fun of the game. It could be also because legendary bonuses give you the ability to spam the shit out of it or something, right? So we don't know too much, but it does seem at the very least interesting. But the Fate Maker spins, yeah, that one to me could be fun. It does scale off melee, but I don't know. To me, I could see it having a cooldown. Also, it doesn't, what happens when there's an enemy that's far away from you or an enemy that's above you. So you're kind of stuck. So to me, I think this is a really good class to eventually go into. Maybe even to do first, because it just seems fun. Usually these burst attacks are really good beginning of the game, low game. But when at end game, they just don't do enough burst damage usually, or they're just gone, and you have to move to the next area, and you have nothing to show for it, or nothing to go with you. But I do think this class and the Stabbomancer have stupid synergy. But ladies and gentlemen, that was me rambling for far too long. We will cover the what is it? What is his name? The Stabomancer in another video. People have talked to them to death about both of those classes, the Graveborn and the Stabomancer, to death. So I'm kind of the least one I think that needs more attention. Even though I'm sure at this point everyone's already covered everything because I gotta edit this and put it together. And also I don't like just drowning you guys in content. Also, this is mainly just us sitting down and talking about characters that we're excited for. Nevertheless, right now, just my ending thoughts before I eventually have to come back and do this, the Stabomancer. The one class I think I'm going to go with is, it's either a toss-up between Graveborn for sure, just because he looks so fun, and it looks like he's kind of, you can patch his weaknesses, and just his kit looks great. But I'm not sure, man. The spell shot sounds fun. I guess that's my thing. I'm either gonna go Graveborn spell shot, Graveborn Clawbringer, and it depends on if there are spells that count as summons. So if there is a way that spell damage scales off of like companion damage, so in reality it's a companion, you summon a golem, you summon a hydra on the ground, you do whatever, you cast a spell and like whatever happens. So if that scales off of spell damage, then yeah, I'm gonna go spell shot, because it's kind of like, all right, well, this is how I get my true companion summoner like class activated. But I don't know, man. Clawbringer seems like a fun time too. And again, who's to say I could have my cake and eat it too? Maybe it would just not be enough damage, but I don't know. Though your Wyvern Clawbringer person just popping off and like constantly throwing out elemental damage all the time. I think it's like, if you're gonna go Graveborn spell shot, I feel like you're gonna kind of go with the Horde, like the Horde mentality. And if you're gonna go Graveborn and Clawbringer, I think you're gonna go with the Overlord, like the less is more, but you could still have more. You could still just cast your summons. But you're only allowed to have one spell equipped at once. This is why the Spellbringer kind of makes even more sense, because you're able to double detonate. So every single time you're casting, you're getting double casting from your Lich. And yeah, it just kind of sequences. It makes a lot of sense. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. Let me know what your builds are popping off. Also, we stream constantly on the channel. Hopefully I can see you there. I can't wait to play this game when it comes out. Again, this was just me kind of padding the runtime until we can actually get it in our hands and play it. And hopefully we see some gameplay of these in action. Right now we only have gameplay for some of the characters, so hopefully we get all of them very, very soon. But nevertheless, it's still cool to infer a lot. And again, we didn't go into the very specifics, or we didn't even get to go into the specific scaling of everything. So there's still some spice to when you actually get into the game and able to actually parse things together, right? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again, and goodbye.